Hi, my name is Kathy Mackey. I'm the Director of Faith Formation at the parishes of St. Augustine's and St. Mary's in Baldwinsville. During the pandemic, when we couldn't meet in person, was something that I came up with called Mondays with Mrs. Mackey. So that was geared towards the sacrament kids that needed to still prepare for the sacraments of First Reconciliation and First Communion. But since we couldn't meet in person, there was no way I could really guarantee that they were learning what they needed to learn. And although they had their sacrament books, I wanted to be able to talk to them about what they were learning. And as you know, they were very zoomed out at that point. But I thought, what if I made a really fun, entertaining video that could help teach them a little bit more about the sacraments? So Mondays with Mrs. Mackey started out with me just being recorded and doing a little video of, a different lesson every week. So for example, one week I came up with the reconciliation rap, and I wrote a rap just talking about what reconciliation is about, when we sin and when things don't go the way that God would like them to, how we can make things all better again by going to confession and doing what's right. So I also have a theme song with the Mondays with Mrs. Mackey. And what is a really funny thing is that the kids didn't get to meet me in person during this time until it was time for their sacraments. And when I was walking down the hall, they were all like, "Oh my gosh, it's Mrs. Mackey from Mondays with Mrs. Mackey." So it was so cute that they were so excited to see me because they thought that I was some TV star or something. So what we decided to do is that even after the remote learning portion of the pandemic ended and we were able to meet in person again, I thought it over and I thought the Mondays with Mrs. Mackey were so well received by not just the kids, but by their parents. The number of emails and phone calls and comments in person from the parents about how they could not wait till Monday to open up their email and see the latest Monday with Mrs. Mackey. And they talked about how much they had learned during this time. I thought, this is probably something I shouldn't stop doing. It sounds like it's something that should continue. So even when we were meeting in person again this year, I decided to continue with the videos. So what I do now is the same exact thing. I have my theme song. I go into a different lesson and try to make it very, very kid friendly and relate the teachings in a way that kids can understand. And it's entertaining and it's fun and it's faith-filled. And not only do the kids love it, as I said, but the parents do too. And it's a great form of evangelization and a great way for the parents to be able to be reminded. I mean, think about it. If you're a parent and you haven't been to confession since your first confession, it's very intimidating to go back because you don't know how to do it. And to be able to be reminded of all that all over again in a fun video, I think that it's something that can help bring more parents back to the church. And that's really something that we're looking at as a whole in the universal church is how do we not only evangelize and catechize the children, but to the entire families as well. So this is a way of doing it because obviously the parents are watching it with the kids and the parents see it first. Are just sacrament based. So it's not based on the teachings of the week. It's not based on what's going on in the church calendar. It's based on the sacraments. But I do spend time not just teaching them about the sacrament itself, because obviously they're getting that from the workshops now in person and the workshops that we were doing online, and obviously their textbooks as well. But I'm also trying to make sure that they understand, I guess, some of the behind the scenes. So for example, when we were not in person, how do you teach church etiquette if nobody's coming to church? So that was something that, I did a video of me in church, genuflecting, showing where the tabernacle is, showing the sanctuary lamp, on and on and on, and how we're supposed to be kneeling and how, what's proper etiquette with kneeling, etc. So those are things that I put in a Mondays with Mrs. Mackey. I also did a Mondays with Mrs. Mackey with my dogs, and it was out in the snow, and I had the dogs run around and, make all these footprints. And I showed them how, those are like what sin does to our soul, but with, the sacrament of reconciliation, God fills that in again. God makes it new again. And then I, showed that by putting snow over where the footprints were. And a parent reached out to me and she said, that was so powerful for my child who's a visual learner. It really clicked. It really made sense to her. So it's just ways of sometimes reinforcing what they're learning, but also some things that they might not learn in the book, like church etiquette or the sanctuary lamp or any of the things that that we who go to church every single week, and when it's not a pandemic and you could go to church every single week, it's things that we're just reminding them of or teaching them for the first time.